The plane had only been in the air for 30 minutes, but to the passengers inside, it felt like eternity. From the moment Flight 478 left New York for London, the shrill cries of a baby pierced the cabin. No matter what the man holding the child did, rocking, patting, bouncing, the baby's sobs only grew louder. Some passengers covered their ears with headphones, others grumbled under their breath. A few exchanged eye rolls. But one thing was obvious: nobody was happy. The man holding the baby was Gregory Hamilton, a billionaire investor whose name often appeared in the financial headlines. He was known for his sharp mind, expensive suits, and ruthless business decisions. But today, none of that mattered. At this moment, he wasn't a billionaire, he was just a desperate father. Gregory's wife had passed away unexpectedly 6 months earlier, leaving him to raise their newborn son, Ethan, alone. Though he had nannies and housekeepers at home, this was his first trip with his baby without help. He had thought he could manage. He was wrong. By the third hour of screaming, Gregory was at his wit's end. Sweat beaded his forehead, and his tailored suit was wrinkled from shifting the child around. Ethan's little face was red from crying, his tiny fists clenched tight. "Sir, do you need assistance?" a flight attendant asked gently, bending down. Gregory shook his head, though his eyes revealed exhaustion. "I've tried everything. He won't stop." Nearby passengers groaned louder. One woman muttered, "People like him can buy private jets. Why torture us on commercial flights?" Another man hissed, 3 hours. Enough already." Gregory's chest tightened. He wasn't used to being judged, especially not when he was trying his best. But he felt powerless. And then, from the aisle, a soft voice spoke up. "Sir, may I try?" Gregory looked up and saw a teenage boy standing there. He was maybe 16, wearing a faded blue t-shirt with small holes in it, and jeans that looked a size too small. His shoes were worn thin. Clearly, he was not wealthy. "You?" Gregory asked, raising an eyebrow. "He doesn't even let his nanny soothe him." The boy gave a shy smile. "Sometimes babies just need music. My little sister cries a lot too. I sing to her. It works." Gregory hesitated. This was absurd. How could a stranger succeed where he, a father, had failed? And yet, desperation outweighed pride. He nodded reluctantly. "Go ahead." The boy carefully held out his hands, but Gregory didn't move. He wasn't ready to let his baby go to someone else. So the boy leaned closer instead, locking eyes with the screaming infant. Then, quietly at first, he began to sing. It wasn't a fancy song. Just a soft hum, followed by gentle lyrics, something simple, heartfelt, full of warmth. His voice carried a raw honesty, a soothing rhythm that seemed to cut through the chaos. The passengers, who had been tense and irritated, slowly fell silent. The sharp wails of Ethan softened, then hiccuped, and finally, amazingly, turned into quiet sniffles. Within minutes, the baby's eyes fluttered shut, his tiny head resting peacefully against his father's chest. The entire cabin froze in disbelief. A few people clapped softly. Others looked at each other with stunned expressions. The woman who had complained earlier now whispered, "Well, I'll be." Gregory stared at the boy as though seeing a miracle. How did you do that?" he whispered, afraid to wake Ethan again. The boy shrugged. "I used to help my mom with my little sister. She works 2 jobs, so I babysit a lot. Babies don't care about money or power, sir. They just need love." Those words struck Gregory harder than he expected. He had built his empire on money, on the belief that wealth solved everything. But in this moment, all his riches had been useless. It was a poor boy, someone society would overlook, who had given him peace. "Sit with us," Gregory said suddenly. "Please." The boy looked surprised but nodded. He slid into the seat beside them, continuing to hum softly while Ethan slept. For the rest of the flight, Gregory watched him with a mix of admiration and guilt. They talked quietly. The boy's name was Marcus. He was 16, from a struggling neighborhood. His mother worked long hours as a cleaner, and he often skipped meals to make sure his younger siblings ate first. Yet, despite hardship, he carried himself with dignity. "I want to be a musician someday," Marcus admitted, his eyes shining with hope. "But lessons cost money we don't have." Gregory felt a pang of shame. How many times had he ignored young talent because it didn't fit his profit-driven world? Here was a boy with a gift, yet invisible to the wealthy like him. By the time the plane landed, Gregory had made a decision. As passengers disembarked, many patted Marcus on the shoulder, thanking him for saving the flight. Gregory, however, pulled him aside. "Marcus," he said firmly, "you've done more for me today than I can ever repay. But I'd like to try." He handed the boy his business card. "Come to my office next week. I'll arrange for music lessons. And anything else you need for school. You have a talent the world deserves to hear." Marcus's eyes widened, his hands trembling as he accepted the card. Are you serious?" "Dead serious," Gregory replied. "You calmed my son when I couldn't. That means more than all the money in my bank." For the first time since boarding, Gregory smiled, not the tight, controlled smile of a businessman, but the genuine smile of a father who had been humbled. As they stepped off the plane, Ethan stirred but remained calm, still soothed by the lingering sound of Marcus's soft humming. And for Gregory, the lesson was clear: money could buy many things, but compassion, kindness, and talent often came from the most unexpected places. On that flight, it wasn't the billionaire who saved the day. It was the poor 16-year-old boy who carried nothing but a heart full of music.